Good afternoon, our presenters and participants. Welcome to the virtual Viet TESOL's International Convention 2021. On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to thank you for your participation and contribution to our convention success. We are Thơ and Han, the presentation's moderators. We are very delighted to see all of you in this session today, especially in this 60 minutes workshop. We do hope that you will have valuable knowledge and experience after the talk. Before the presentation, there are some considerations. If you have any questions and concerns about the presentations, please feel free to leave it in the chat box so that we can answer it into the Q&A session. And we warmly welcome Mr. Nguyen in this 60 minutes workshop, which is entitled Practical Activities to Utilize Breakout Rooms on Online Learning Platform. About our speaker, Mr. Nguyen is a founder and academic manager of Talkin English online learning system in Vietnam. She holds an MA TESOL from the University of Huddersfield in the UK. She has nearly 10 years of teaching experience, teaching English as a foreign language for Indonesia, Chinese, Taiwanese, and Vietnamese speakers. She is interested in current teaching practice and improving learner experience and teacher training. She joins the Viet TESOL Association as secretary board member to help bring more professional development opportunities to teachers and in all over Vietnam. So please welcome Mr. Nguyen.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Well, I'm a bit nervous now, but I think that we'll be okay. So I'm going to share my slide right now. Just a moment. Right, so our workshop today, it's about practical activities to utilize breakout rooms on online learning platforms, let's say Zoom and Microsoft Teams. So about myself, my name is Nguyen, and I'm currently the founder at Talkin English online learning system. So it's a very great honor for me to be here today and to talk about what I have been doing. So before we start, I would like to go over what we are going to do today. There are four main things that we are going to do. The first one is the definition of a successful speaking task. So the main focus of our sessions will be on speaking task. And the second part, it's about stages of a speaking task. So these are quite a little bit about the theory, something a little bit theoretical, but not really. The next one, it's about the DNR technique and some sample task. The DNR technique, it's something that Talkin English has been working on, and this is our own method and technique in teaching. And the last one, before we move to the Q&A, it's a note for breakout rooms teachers. So let's get started. Right, so first one, I got a very nice pictures here. So if you are not from Vietnam, then maybe you are not familiar with this, but this is pigs, right? And I have a question for you guys. So if you are a teacher, what can you utilize these pictures for? What kind of speaking task you can give to the students? Can you just type your answers in the chat box, please? So we're going to have 1 to 2 minutes for you. What kind of speaking task that you can think of related to that pictures? Well, we got a speaking task about exotic foods, yeah. Describe a time when you were hungry, that's very nice. Ask students to describe what they see in the picture, yes, about culture difference, nice. Picture description, that's very good. About culture, yeah. Kind of food you love the most, exactly, that's what I would be I would be doing. Right, that's good. Seeing lots of answers coming. What would they eat? How would they eat this food? Step by steps, yeah. How to make it, right? Kind of food that you have never known, for example. That's very good. Right. So I think that you have been very creative teachers with a lot of speaking tasks that you can think of, and they are so various. I can't think of something else, but yeah. We move to the second one. So we know we got the thing that we have to do, but how? I would like to change our workshop today to the theme of food. So kind of words, everything we use, it's kind of related to cooking, ingredients, cuisines, for example. So the next question for you is, what do you think are the ingredients for a stunning speaking task? How can we cook a delicious speaking task? What do we need? So if you can think of any idea, can you please just type it in the chat box? Yeah, we need the language, we need the activity, we need an interesting topics. Yes. What else do we need? We need motivation. We need the student to be motivated. They need to love the task. Yeah. They need nice ideas. They need the confidence. Anything else? I know that there are so many things, so many ingredients that we need. But what do you think is the most important one? Right, the interaction. That's very good. The requirements that are suitable for their level. That's good. Before asking students to speak, we have to provide students with a language. Yes, very good preparation. So we need to prepare them with the language, the pronunciation, the ideas. I do agree with you all. So here I am presenting my top 4 choices. Okay, this might not be true to all of you. This is from my perspective. This is what I think from my learning experience. So the first one, the task should be meaningful. So it should be related to themselves. It's not something that is authentic, something that they want to talk about, not something that is, irrelevant. So for example, if you ask them to, let's say, to call somebody to arrange a meeting, but somebody in Vietnamese, like a Vietnamese person, then it's irrelevant because they often call their Vietnamese friend in Vietnamese, not in English. So yeah, that is, for example, like you invite a guest to the class and get them to talk in English. That is something that I might call meaningful. The second one is the choice of language. It means that they can be free to use whatever kind of language or materials or structures they want, just with the with the aim to complete the task. So that shouldn't be any restrictions on what they can use, like you must use this or you mustn't use that. So that can restrict their ability to speak and be fluent in English. The next one, for me, I think it's very important. That is some kind of gaps. So a gaps is the difference between two things. So we'll talk about gaps later because this is so important in language task. And the last one for me are the chances for feedback, because when they get feedback, they gonna be motivated as well, and they can have a chance to correct themselves in the future so that their accuracy can be bettered. Right, so let's talk about some kind of gaps. But first, I have a question. I'm going to have a task here. Do you think that this task this dish is stunning, it is delicious. Can you just simply type yes or no in the chat box? I got a fill in the blank here. So if this is a speaking task, do you think that it is stunning? No? Not really? No? No? I see a lot of no's. Right, yes. I would say that this is kind of a boring grammar exercise. But let's just imagine that it's not just an exercise, it is something that the students have to discuss. They got their own answers, but then they have to discuss with their friends whether their answers are the same or not. So here, there is a meaningful purpose to talk to someone because you need to check whether you are right or not. And also, yeah, when you get the correct answers, you got the motivation. And this is, I think, there's a gap here. And there's also, so this is meaningful. It's, there's a gap here. And I think there's a lot of feedback because when you talk to each other, you can give the feedback for each other, and you can also receive some open feedback from the class as well. So yes, it might not be the most wonderful task, but somehow you can transform it into a speaking task, which is not so boring. It depends on how you utilize the task. So what I mean is the task itself, it's not really boring. The thing is, you need to find some way to make it more authentic and to create the reason for students to speak so that it's meaningful. Let's talk about the gaps. So there are three main types of gaps in a speaking task based on what people have been talking about when they talk about communicative language teaching or task-based learning. So the first gap is the information gap. The second one is an opinion gap, and the last one is the reasoning gap. So these are the three main type of gaps, right? So let's talk about the opinion gap, right? So information gap first. The information gaps are when students have different information, so they have to fill in the gaps for each other by communicating. For example, they got different schedules or they got different name to fill in a blank, for example, or they have to give directions to a place when they work in pair. That's a kind of information gaps. The second one is the reasoning gap. When they have to figure something out, they have to give the reason for something so that they can both reach a goal. That's the reasoning gap. The last one is the opinion gap. So the name just say it all, right? There's a difference in the opinion. That's why it's called the opinion gap, right? So that's about the theory. So now we will see some kind of task, and please tell me what kind of gaps you think that there are in these tasks. Okay, so what type of gaps are there in these tasks? The first one, I got one pictures of myself like 10 years ago. Second pictures, so this is spot the difference exercise, right? So what kind of gaps do you think it is? Information gap, yeah. Information gap. Yeah. So for me, I think it is an information gap when you have to say, oh, what they are or what there is in these pictures. Like let's say, hey, in the first picture, she's doing something, and in the second picture, she's doing something else. So this is the difference in information. We got the information gap, right? So how about the second task? In pair, discuss. Is this task meaningful? Why or why not? So what kind of gaps can you see in this task? We got information, we got opinion, we got reasoning gaps. So what do you think it is? Oh, lots of answers. Just simply just type what you think in the chat box, yeah? I see, yeah, opinion, opinion, information, information, opinion, opinion. Oh, a lot of people are saying opinions. Right, so I think that sometimes we cannot draw a clear line between information, reasoning, and opinions. So for me, it is both reasoning and opinions, because when it comes to opinion, somebody would say that this task is meaningful, this is meaningless. But when you have to provide justification, or you have to provide some kind of reasons for it, it's the reasoning gap, right? So my reasons and your reasons may not be the same. That is a gap. So yeah, my answers for this is both opinion gap and reasoning gap. Next one. When you have to call your Western or somebody from another country colleague to set up a meeting next week, so what kind of gaps are there? What kind of gaps? Think carefully. When you have to call a colleague to set up a meeting next week. Yeah, information. Information, opinion, and reasoning, maybe. Yeah, right. So first of all, we can all see that it is the information, right? So whether you are free on Saturday or not, or whether you are free on Monday morning. So that's the information gaps. The second one is the opinions, whether both of you would like to do it on like evening, or you would do it in the morning. And reasoning as well. Why are you busy? Why are you why are you busy on, let's say, Thursday evening, for example? So yes, a task can be lots of things at one time, but as long as there's a gap, it's okay for your student to do it. So that's what I mean. There needs to be a gap. So try to make it meaningful, and there is something for them to work out together. Right. So we all know that there are some elements for a successful speaking task or a delicious dish. But how we can cook a stunning speaking task, or how can we do a very good speaking task for students? First one is to prepare well. Right? We all know that we have to prepare. I know, you know, all of us know that we have to prepare, but what should we prepare? Now it's time for you to just answer the question. What should you prepare for a speaking task? Okay, I know that this workshop, it's a bit, you know, basics and fundamental. I think it's also a way for you to summarize, to reflect on your teaching methods, to make sure that you got you know, a holistic view, like a bigger views of everything that you have. So this is a good time for us to stay here and to go over everything together. So let's say, what should we prepare for a good speaking task? Who and what? That's my suggestions. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to talk, to think about it, and then you can write down your answer in the chat box. Yay, the preparation regarding who will do what. So the responsibility or the task that student have to do, very good. Clear instructions. I think that I myself got problem with the clear instructions. Yeah. So I have to write down some instructions and make sure that it's easy to understand. Sometimes I really got problem with my instructions. The language input, like their background knowledge of the students, right? Do they have enough vocabulary? Do they have know what to say? How about the structures? How about the words, ideas, for example? Yeah, so yes, student, they understand what they have to do. Instructions are clear. Very well prepared materials, right? Who, how to carry out, where to take place, topic, yeah, it's related to the material itself. That's good. Right, so make sure there's something that you need to bear in your mind when you prepare. First one, the student themselves. Are they prepared? In terms of linguistically, in terms of linguistics, in terms of motivations, like do they have enough vocab? Do they have enough structures? Or do they got ideas for it? Right. Second one, it's about the materials. Are they clear? Are they easy to follow? Are they meaningful, for example? And the last one, it's about the teacher. The teacher, like how are you going to instruct them? How about the feedback? How about the monitor plan? Anything, lots of things to consider, right? Next, it's to cook. It means that we actually do the task in the class. And to become a better cook, you need to cook again. That means you have to do the task again. When you do the task again, the students have the chance to practice one more time, and it's a better way for them to memorize everything that we have been doing, like the structures, the grammar, or the vocabulary. But how? If we cook again, then it's not meaningful, right? It's become boring. How we can cook again, but still maintain a very high level of motivation for them? So that's a big question. If you don't cook again, then you can't better your cooking skills. So we're going to have a sample task that tell my story. And after we do the task, I will show you the methods so that you can do the task again, but without giving boredom to your students. Okay, so we are going to watch a video, and a very short video, and I want you to tell me what happened in the video. Okay, so you need to have some question in your mind, like who are the people in the video? What are they doing? Right? Are they friends or any kind of relationships between them? Right? So we're going to YouTube and watch a short video.
My ideal guy is probably like a soft, nerdy dad. I'm always like wary of people that are too attractive.
I imagine sort of like sun-kissed skin. Personally, I don't care too much about like ethnicity or race, but definitely a good personality and someone who wants to grow together. Like go on, experience new and different things.
Your name is Ashley. This is your story.
Oh, guys. This is what happens when we
25
use
years
something for
old.
free.
For work, you're an artist or a creative, or possibly a nurse. Couldn't decide. And your cultural or ethnic background is Caucasian.
My name is Ellie. I am 25. For work, I am a creative, but I work in craft beer, and I am indeed Caucasian. Your name is Ravi, and this is your story. You are 30 years old. For work, you are a dentist, and your cultural or ethnic background is Indian.
My name is Abhay. I will be 26 in a month. For work, I am a film producer, and my cultural or ethnic background is Indian. All right.
Right, so you've just watched a video on YouTube about two people, right? So do they know each other? Are they friends? Do they know each other? Yeah, no, right, no. They don't know each other. So what they do? What do they do? What they do when they face each other? When they got the paper, right? They don't know. Yeah, they ask questions. Do they ask questions? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, they don't ask questions. They don't ask each other questions. They just look at each other and guess the information about themselves. Yeah, oh, they imagine each other's story. That's very good. Yeah, they don't know each other. Yes, they have a blind date. They don't know about each other, but they guess. So you are going to do the same thing now. So I'm going to send you a list of questions, a list of sentences, just like them. You got a list. And what you have to do, it's not telling about yourself, but you have to guess the information about your partner. So can I have the file, please? The moderator is going to send us the material.
Yes, I already sent it into the chat
Yeah.
box, so everyone.
So can you please download the Tell My Story file over here? Because we are going to use this sheet when we are breaking into breakout rooms.
If you have any problems downloading this file, please tell me in the chat box so that I can send you the link in the Google Drive so that it's easier for you to access.
So this is what it should look like. You are going to have a page like this with some blanks in here, or I would say that some gaps in here, right? So what you have to do is, do you tell about yourself? Yeah, you don't talk about yourself, right? You guess about your partner, and then your partner confirms whether the information is correct or not. Right. So are you ready? If you are ready, then you can say yes in the chat box, because I'm going to divide you into different breakout rooms. So how many people are there in the rooms? Is that 3? How many characters are in the video? Just 2, right? So there's also 2 in each breakout rooms. So I want you to be in the breakout rooms and guess the information about your partners. I'm going to give you like 5 minutes in the breakout rooms. Let's go.
Excuse me, Miss Tram, can you turn on your microphone? You're turning on it on.
Right, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, you need more time. I love it that you seems to enjoy the task so that you need more time. Well,
I
actually,
really enjoyed the task.
yeah.
It's really interesting.
Well, actually, because of the time constraint, so we just have oh, by the way, my partner gets all right. That's amazing, I think. Okay, that's good. So that's the first time, that's the first round. I think that you've been discussing, you've been talking with your partners. Oh, it's very interesting. Thank you. It was a very big encouragement. You've just been talking with your partners, and now I want you to move into another breakout rooms, not with your partner, but with a new one. You are going to talk not about yourself, but you talk about your previous partner. So for example, in the first breakout room, I talked with Miss Thơ. And in the second breakout room, I see Miss Hồng Ngọc, for example. So in the second breakout room, I will talk to Miss Hồng Ngọc about Miss Thơ, not about myself. So this is what I may tell her. So, hello, I've just talked with Miss Thơ, and she is, I say 25 years old. She likes Mid-Autumn Festival and something. So this second breakout rooms, you will not talk about yourself, but you talk about your partners, right? So just before we start, I just do a very quick check. Can you just answer me in the chat box? Are we going to talk about ourselves in the second breakout rooms? Oh, no. Yeah, no. No. So what are we going to talk about? Yay, we have to talk about our first partner, about the previous partner. That's good. Yeah. So what if you don't remember anything? Then just say, oh, actually, I don't remember anything, or actually, I didn't have time to talk to her, because that's what really happened, right? So the point is you really talk and talk. I mean, what really happened in the past in the breakout room. So it's just a simple task. No worry, we do not do anything serious here. We'll talk about the ex-partner, right? That's good. So yeah, we do a quick breakout room, just a sample task. And I hope that you can talk to the second partner about what you like or what you remembered about the first one. Okay, let's go. So everybody is in the breakout rooms. We'll get them back in a minute. They have been in the breakout rooms, so they will be back in a few minutes. Okay, so welcome back. What you have done is what we call discussion and report in Talkin English. So yeah, so in the first place, the first round, you do the task, right? So what happened in the second round? Can you tell me what happened in the second round? It's to report to another partners. And before students are moved into different breakout rooms, I give you some suggestions with such questions like, do you remember? What do you like best about something? Why? What do you agree or what don't you agree and why? So we got 2 rounds. The first round is you actually do the test. And the second round, you report to your partners, but another one. So you can recycle the language. You recycle the structures or the targeted language that are being taught, for example, but then it's still meaningful. And the third round, if possible, it's the open class or the group feedback. So we can do the task even one more time. Okay, but I know that my task today, it's not a delicious dish. It's not successful. And can you tell me why are my tasks or my second times of breakout rooms were not so successful? What can I improve in my next lessons? And you just got a minute to reflect, to think back. What can be improved about my using breakout rooms in 2 times? Oh, yeah, need more time, please. Sure, in your real class, you're going to have a lot of time for this. So yeah, you need to plan very carefully about the time. That's good. The instructions, yeah. Students need to get very clear instructions. So I think I need to have more instruction understanding questions for the first breakout rooms, right? Because you need to see each other, but I didn't remind you to turn on your camera to guess. You actually have to see each other to guess the information, but I didn't tell you to. So that was a failure. Yeah. Anything else? Anything that was not so good about my task? There's a lot of things. Yes, that's true. Some partners don't talk anything. That happened to the same class, right? So we need to make sure that there's someone there to monitor and to motivate them, to give or to offer a hand when they are in need, for example. Interpersonal cultures For example, I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, some pairs or partners know about each other before. So this should be applied to someone that is, new to each other, right? Students should know that they will be using this information they gather will be used in the breakout rooms. Yes, that's very good. So I need to tell them that, hey, you need to take note of what happens when you talk to your partner. You need to remember all the informations because that information is going to be recycled when you move into second breakout room. But that's really, when we talk to someone, we need to remember about them, right? But yeah, as a student, as a teachers, I do think that we still need to remind them. Anything else? You're doing very good, yeah? Anything that we should improve, or we could improve? Each other speaking is weak, yes. So sometimes the partner is not, the level of the partner is not the same. So this is also a way so that you can negotiate the meaning. If you are a stronger student, then you need to find a way to grade your language so that the weaker student can still understand you. Or you make sure that the task or the task given, it's easy enough. The first round, something very interesting. We are eager to start the conversation, to check our guesses. That's very motivating. But for the second, just report and not as interesting as the first one. Yes, I do agree. That's why we need to remind students that just tell the second partner, is there anything that you find interesting about the first one? What is the best part? What do you like best about them? Do you find any interesting information about them? So yeah, just make sure that the list of questions, it's interesting as well. So yeah, lots to consider. So here are some notes for you. Make sure that your students know what to do before they start. Clear instructions again. Remind them to get a hold of the learning materials. They need to know the list of questions. They need to get the material because when you move into breakout rooms, the screens is not there anymore. Facilitate during the discussions. You should be there either to force them to speak or to help them to speak, to make sure that everybody speak. Keep track of time, reminding them before you close the breakout rooms, because time is very important, right? So if you close the session too early, they may not have wrapped it up yet, or somebody hasn't talked yet, for example, then make sure that you got time for everyone to do something. Right, so that's everything for the workshop today, and now let's move to the Q&A part, so that you can get to know more about the technique, or if you are unclear about anything, then we can discuss together.
Thank you, Ms. Nguyen, for your very useful and informative presentations. So everyone, if you have any questions related to the presentations or the technique Ms. Nguyen using, please feel free to leave it in the chat box so that I can collect it. Okay, while we are waiting for the audience to give the questions, there's one question that is very difficult to motivate students where in speaking activity, especially when you use breakout rooms. It's a little bit hard because you cannot be in every room at the same time. So can you give any suggestion to deal with that problem?
That's a very common question related to breakout rooms. So how can we get students to talk? Well, actually, the situation is a bit different in where I work because they pay for what they got. So in language centers, when they get into breakout rooms, they love to talk. So as in bigger classroom, I do suggest that you have a very clear rules at the beginning. That first of all, students have to turn on their camera all the time. And the second one, you can randomly check on them whenever they were working in the breakout rooms to make sure that they participate in the task. And I think the most important thing is the task itself. They must be motivating and interesting enough for them to speak. It must be something that meaningful to them and suitable, appropriate to their level as well, so that they do have something to speak first. Sometimes they don't speak because first one, they do not have the vocab or they don't have the idea. Second one, they are too shy. So here, let's get into the role of a motivator from the teachers. When you just see a very, the slightest improvement of your students, then you need to praise them so that they have the bigger willingness to speak the second time. So yeah, if they don't, yeah.
Thank you for your answers. Yes, and there's another the questions that we just have 5 minutes left. So there's one more question. Is that I mean the difference between student levels that make them difficult to communicate to other students. Some that makes some of the students, the weaker student, feel a little bit shy, and the other one a little bit more dominant. So is there any tip to considering when you put students into groups?
Well, it really depends on the task. For example, if normally I would pair someone of the same level. If the students who is dominant will be paired with someone who also got the idea and who can talk quite on and on, I would say. Because if I pair them with the weaker student, then both of them may be demotivated. The weaker one will not talk, and the stronger one will keep going forever, for example. But in some other, I mean, but not always, because in the class we need to encourage the stronger students to give a hand to the weaker one as well, so that they can both improve themselves. Yeah, so just tell them that, yeah, you are being like helping each other by just giving them your like trying to be a teachers as well when you are in a pair. So not always just strong student together, but sometime when they know what to do, then I can guide them to be a little teachers when in another kind of pair with weaker students.
Yeah, thank you. There's another question from yeah, I don't know how to read the name. He or she would like to know whether we can use breakout rooms in Google Meet.
I'm not sure about this, but I think the breakout rooms, it's just been available for Zooms and Google Meets. Sorry, and Microsoft Teams.
Yes.
Teams, yeah.
Okay, I think so. You can, yeah. Many I don't know how to read the name. You can look up for, you can search for the information in the Google device, so that you can, or we can find the information and tell you later after the meeting today. And oh yes, we
have to upgrade our
yeah, we have to upgrade. Thank you, Hai Sung. Yes, there's answers from the audience. Yep, thank you.
Interesting. Thank you for the information.
Yes. So do you have any questions? Please feel free to raise your questions, so that we have just only 3 more minutes before we end the session.
Well, so I think that I think I've been so thankful for all of you for your cooperation today, and you've been very big supporters and attendees as well. So before we finish, I think we can take a pictures together.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Thank you, Ms. Tram, and thank you all the participants very much for your attendance today. So please turn on your camera so that we can take the pictures of our session today. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a minute. I'm sorry, the host, can you help me to take the pictures of all the attendants?
Yes.
Okay.
I will count 1, 2, 3. So,
Yeah.
okay. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
On behalf of VIC 2021, we wish you all the best. Thank you all the participants and presenter today. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.